So I'm going to talk a little bit about how to use bus compression in your mix. A bus is where you have a selection of audio channels which are being sent to one auxiliary bus or an auxiliary channel. Typically from there, your auxiliary channel will be sent to your mix bus or your master output. For the sake of this video, I've got a mix bus set up here. So my drums, my bass, my guitars, my sound effects are all being sent to this mix bus here. And then from there it gets sent to the master output, which I've got some very basic master processing. So the mix bus, the way I look at a mix bus compressor is I'm trying to glue the mix and emphasize the kind of the movement and energy of the mix. This doesn't apply to all genres. People use bus compressors for different things, but for the sake of this video and talking about metal and rock production, this is how I would approach mixed bus compression. So here I'm using the Native Instruments Solid Bus Comp. You can use the Waves one here, which is basically the same style of compressor. You can use the stock Logical Pro Tools compressors on a bus compressor preset, but I really like this Native Instruments one. It just does what I feel it needs to do. So let's have a little listen to how this is sounding with the bus compressor on. So you can see my gain reduction is very, very small, but it's enough to feel what it's doing. It's kind of like the release of that compressor is kind of coming in time with the tempo of the music. So it's kind of the compressor is pulling the track down from the kick drum and the snare transients, but it's kind of like making it do this. It's kind of breathing a little bit. I'm going to take it off so you can hear what it's like without, and then I'll enable it so you can hear how it's actually affecting. So that's bypassed, and now it's enabled. It's really kind of giving this energy and this kind of air. Now I'm going to exaggerate this by pulling the threshold back. Obviously it'll be far too much, but you can kind of hear how it's reacting to the music. And when you pull that threshold back, you can hear how it's kind of gluing it all together. So that's what the bus compressor is doing. What I like to do when I'm kind of getting the settings of that compressor right is I like to mess around with the release, because it's so important to try and get that the release of the compressor in time, so it's kind of like going with the music, with the tempo of the music, sorry. So we're just going to just pull this release around a little bit so you can see how it's reacting. See, the 0.5 milliseconds feels good to me. It's kind of acts as great glue. Just going to bypass that now. Yeah, it makes a big difference. So that's now enabled.